I am going to tell you how to be more happy, be more content, be wealthier. And it's only going to take 5 minutes of your time. Some of you are watching this for the express purpose of probably leaving a nasty comment or saying, yeah, that's not going to work. And you're going to dismiss it immediately. And the only reason you're watching is just so that you can have the satisfaction of your mind of saying, this is nuts. This isn't going to work. So feel free to keep watching. Thanks for the views. Some of you are going to do what I am going to tell you to do for a day or two. And then you're going to say that was hard or it felt uncomfortable or it didn't work. I would encourage you to do what some of you are already going to do, and that is to try it for a week. Try it for 2 weeks. Try and pretend for 2 weeks that this is your new lifestyle, that this is the way you already think. And I promise you, you will start to begin to feel the veil lifted, and colors will be brighter, and sounds will be sweeter, and smells will be more fragrant, and the whole world will feel like it's new, and you will feel like a brand new person. And after this point, it will be very, very hard to go back to where you came from. Here's the first thing that I want to point out, and this is just a simple mindset shift. If you're watching this, first of all, you already know that you need this, because if you're happy, if you're content, if you're satisfied, you're not going to click on something that says how to be more happy, right? Right. The second thing is you have internet, and you probably have a smartphone with a screen or a TV, or you have access to one of those things because that's how you're listening to me right now. Now imagine it's 200 years ago. If you were the richest person in the world, you wouldn't have been able to hear somebody talk on live video from the other end of the planet, right? So today, even the most basic things that we have in most countries are more advanced and luxurious than what anything money could have bought existed 200 years ago. Just 200 years. Now imagine 1,000 years, 2,000 years ago. The richest of kings had personal bands or minstrels to come in and play music. Now, homeless people have smartphones that can get on and listen to music anytime, any music, on demand, any genre. We have indoor plumbing. We have hot and cold water, air conditioning. Even the crappiest food is clean for the most part, and it will sustain life. So first, I want you to imagine that you are royalty, and then pretend that it's true. Because again, 1,000 years ago, you couldn't just have endless hot water in a shower or air conditioning, no matter how much money you had. You might have people like, fanning you with leaves or whatever, right? If you were a king, but that doesn't mean it wasn't 90 degrees outside. Now I can be 65 inside where I'm sitting, even if it's 100 degrees outside. That's crazy. That's insane. You are living a more wealthy life than almost every king or every royal member of any bloodline that's ever lived. Okay? Stop thinking about, oh, well, I don't have a mansion or a Ferrari or whatever. Think about, in relativistic terms, how awesome life is just from the amenities. Okay? Now, the third thing, this is the key thing, okay? Because this you can always have with you, and no one can ever take it from you, ever. Once you unlock this way of thinking, you walk outside. Say there's some clouds in the sky, there's sun. Okay? Leave your phone inside and just walk outside. And maybe you're barefoot and you can feel the grass beneath your toes. And look up at the sky and the clouds and just think for a second that millions of bits of information in visual and auditory and kinesthetic form, the wind blowing against your skin, all the light hitting your eyes and the colors, the light reflecting off of things and bouncing those colors into your eyes, and your eyes are taking all that information and processing it and delivering it to your brain, which is then interpreting it and basically delivering to you on a silver platter this image of reality and all the sounds, the birds, the airplanes, the wind in the trees, children playing, cars driving, and the feels, the grass beneath your feet. And you can bring all of these things into your conscious awareness. What does the grass beneath my feet feel like? And what does the wind feel like? And what does my body feel like? And if that feeling had a name and an emotion, what would it feel like? And it's probably good, and it might even be great. And then you think, okay, well, that's fantastic, and I do that. Well, what next? Look at the world around you. How much of it do you know about? How's asphalt made? How does grass turn green? Why is every blade of grass a different shade of green? Every single one. You might want to check that now. If you get down and look closely into the grass, are there any bugs? What about the dirt? There's a billion things to be curious about. And we're just talking about the front yard here, right? Oh, there's a plane flying by. How does the theory of gravity become superseded into the theory of aerodynamics and lift? Like, how does that work? I mean, I don't know. I know that it's a concept. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought why some clouds are a different shape than others? I mean, I can name them: cirrus, cumulonimbus, all that. But why is today there's cumulonimbus and this morning there was cirrus? And how exactly does the sun refract light as it's going down to make the sky so many different colors? This is why I think a lot of old people get into bird watching, because if you really start paying attention, there's like 100 different birds right outside, no matter where you are. And they're shaped all different colors and shapes, and they make different calls. And some of them have really funny names, like flat-chested warmonger. It can be tempting to punch it into Google, or even worse, ChatGPT or one of the LLMs. Let me encourage you not to do that. If you become curious about something, try and find it the old-fashioned way, or use technology like Google or an LLM to point you in the right direction without hand feeding you the answer. Because part of the joy in discovery is using your brain to connect things and then follow the natural rabbit trail where that will lead. Sometimes I'll go outside and I'll find like a slug or a lizard, and I'll just watch it, and I won't try and catch it or anything. But how does it move? Why does it make slime? Like, how does that happen? Like, what are the secretions? And if you own an encyclopedia or go to the library, there's books on slugs. Like, you can find this stuff, and you can go through until you find something that catches your interest. And then when you find something that catches your interest, it might make another question. And then that might be, okay, well, slugs make slime. What about caterpillars? Like, why are caterpillars and slugs different? What's the difference there? And then you find out, there's probably like 100,000 different types of caterpillars. And you can never be bored again. This is so far outside of just like doom scrolling Reels or TikTok or whatever. All right. That stuff is in a box, and it's delivered to you what the algorithm thinks that you want to see, and that what will catch your interest. But have you ever asked what you think would catch your interest? Like, walk outside, go for a walk, go start a conversation with an old person and see if they have any stories to tell you. Like, what is your algorithm saying when you go out and you just experience the randomness of life and all the people and things that come across your path? That's like the universe algo, right? What is the universe algo giving you versus what Reels says you should see, which is pictures of somebody else's life or some brain rot top 10. If you start doing this, you will just forget that your phone is even on the shelf. You won't even know where it is until it's like, oh, well, maybe I need a phone call. You'll be outside, you'll be doing things, you'll be experiencing real life. And real life will become more vivid and bigger and brighter and more beautiful. And phones will feel like junk food. So I hope this helped. If it did, and you tried it, and it's great, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me what part stuck out to you most. What was the most profound moment when you tried this that made you say, oh yeah, this is real. And all that other stuff I thought was real, it's not real at all. If you hate this idea, I definitely want to hear from you. Let me know all the ways you hate it, and have a great day.